Hey,
it's a Wednesday.
so bear with me
Another
to
hump day.
share on this places real quick. How are you doing, Mo?
I'm good. What's up, everybody? Girl Chat Sports, another quarantine episode, but not really quarantine because now we have some measures that are extended. We can
We're
necessarily
social
not have to be at
distancing.
home,
It's a social distance
but
episode.
it's a social distancing thing now. So we'll just say the social distance episode, the kickoff to that. And I'm super excited because we're wearing our lights gear today, and that means we have a lights player coming on to join us. I'm super, super stoked about that.
Yeah, so I'm excited to have that happen. There's also some news that we'll discuss after the interview, kind of about what's happening with the UFC, the Major League Baseball, NBA. I mean, it's kind of like we're starting to get that momentum for bringing back sports. It's just we're patiently waiting.
Yes, it looks like it's happening. It looks like it's going to be something that we will be able to experience and hopefully be a spectator of. But if not, I'll take the sports. I'll take whatever it is.
Right.
Just bring it back. That's all I ask.
Just make sure it happens, please.
Yeah, no lie. Like I'm ready. I'm ready. I mean, it's so much. Every day it changes. Like the news changes on what they're going to do. And we have to talk about what Dame Lillard said as far as it goes for the NBA. If it's a playoff type of situation.
Yeah, he's like, listen, he was pretty much like, well, yeah.
Yeah, he's not trying to play if he has to, if they're gonna lose, pretty much in a nutshell.
Right.
He'd rather not. And again.
Huh? I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
You can't hear me at all?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Shout out to all of our sports affiliates there. Let the Ball Bounce guys, Unnamed Sports Show, Vegas Sports Daily, Levels, all our peeps, Black Sports. Shout out to all you guys holding it down. Shout out to our guy over in the Dallas area, all of our peeps over there at the Sports Life podcast. We were just on their show Saturday. Good times. Thanks for having us on. Appreciate that. Hopefully we will meet three-dimensionally and not so social distance way.
So
yeah, but we could do a show with them. It's cool.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. I want to get this posted.
And then for anybody that's watching us on a live, share too. Sharing is caring. Share to, if you're following the likes, we're up on there. Cash App's up on there too. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Jeremy's in the house.
Yes, thank you, Jeremy, being in the house with us. Social distancing as well. Appreciate the love. Should we get into our guests, or is there anything you want
to say? I think so. Let's get him in.
All right. So without further ado, there he is, the man, Mr. Gabe Robinson. We always love our lights, and we always like to have a featured guest on there. We've had Tommy on a couple times, but we've never gotten the defender role and a person like Gabe Robinson, who was also last season's MVP. We need an MVP in the building, so we've got him on the virtual chat. Welcome.
Welcome, Gabe.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. So, first, before we get into, I love your quarantine beard. I mentioned that when we were talking earlier. It's a good go-to.
It's real long.
It is real long, but it's a good look. Are you planning on keeping it? Do you think it's something you're going to shave after it's all said and done and get back to your signature look?
I'll probably go back to the shaved look in a couple of weeks or so. And hopefully, eventually, when we start practicing and training with the team and everything. But as of right now, my fiance is okay with it, so I think it's okay.
Okay, and we're going to talk about her too.
Right?
So tell us a little bit about yourself. We know you're from California, but what part exactly? Is it Valencia, California that you're from? And how was that growing up?
It's Valencia, California. It's a nice suburban area. It's right next to Magic Mountain, Six Flags, Hurricane Harbor is over there. So it's a nice place to grow up. Super safe, and I got to play any sport I wanted, so it's nice.
Cool. So were you a season pass holder for Magic Mountain since you live so close?
I was when I was like 8 or 9, but it eventually kind of grew old on me when I got into my teenage years. So yeah, not anymore, but it was fun there.
Oh, okay, cool. So what, I know within your career of college, tell us a little bit about that. What got you into soccer? What kind of got you the love of soccer and the love of the game and your position that you play?
Well, I didn't really like play soccer like growing up as much. I was more of a track athlete. I pretty much try to play any sport that my parents could get me into, whether it's track, soccer, basketball, water polo, tennis. It wasn't anything specific, but it was I would do track in the spring season and soccer in the fall, and I would switch off and do basketball or whatever. But it was mainly just it was made before anything else. I'm a track athlete over anything else.
Oh,
So
wow.
Ah.
So what got you into the soccer? What kind of transcended from the track and field to the soccer field?
it was mainly just that was like what all my friends were doing. Were playing soccer, so it was just all right. We're gonna run track in the spring, and then we're gonna go play soccer. And some people would play soccer in the spring and fall and summer and whatever, but I didn't want to necessarily do that. I wanted to expand my horizons.
Resume a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So you played at CSUN
Mm-hmm.
and you were always in that defender position. And what type of defender were you? Were you a center back or wing back or which position?
I got recruited from Hart High School as an outside back. I was actually playing left back.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but I was playing left in high school for most of the time. And then they recruited me as a right back. And after a year or so, I decided that I wanted to play center back because, to be honest, it's a lot running at outside back, and center back, I'm more fit for that role. So I decided to switch to center back.
Okay. And then from that point on, how did it go from your college career to getting on the lights?
So I finished CSUN. 2016 was my last year, and then 2017. It's kind of a crazy story.
We're here for it. Tell it.
We all know Eric. Eric was holding open tryouts because he was supposed to coach against the U20 team, the US U20s. So that happened in January, like first couple weeks of January, and my goalkeeper teammate was like, let's just go to this tryout and just to play U20, see if we can or not. And Eric saw me there, and after about 8 to 10 minutes of seeing me play, he was like on the field, like watching. He's like, "Where did you play?" And I was like, "Played at CSUN." And then he's like, "Okay." He's like, "Can you play thin back?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Okay." And he said, "Okay," and okay. And then after, he kind of looked at me, and I was just like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "I need to know your story." And then it kind of spiraled from there. So I played against U20s, which I played awful at. And Eric told me multiple times that he's like, a lot of coaches would have given up on you at that point, but you're lucky to have me. So,
Coach always can keep it pretty.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's brutally honest, which I need, and which a lot of people need. Certain people don't like, but I'm glad he's honest with everybody. But
now, not having played, soccer all through growing up, were you aware? I mean, I guess once you got to that level with Coach, you kind of knew who he was and where he was at with the USA team back, probably before you were born. But did you kind of know who he was when you were meeting up with him, or did you already have like an established understanding of like some of the soccer greats in the previous past and whatnot?
Well, I had a pretty good understanding of who he was just from Fox Sports and just doing the typical millennial Google search and like, who is this guy? So when my friend told me he's like, Eric Ronaldo's going to be the coach, and I was just like, the announcer on Fox Sports, and then I Googled him and I was like, oh my God. I was like, why wouldn't you want to do this? Like, yeah, of course I'm going to go to that trial. That's like the most obvious thing to do is go to that trial. And then from there, U20s, then we had an amateur team called the LA Wolves that he was a part of. So he took me there, and then LA Wolves turned into OC Invicta, and now they're Cal United Strikers, and they're playing in Nisa. So I know a lot of those players on that team came to Vegas last year from California United, so that's where he picked his players from last year.
Very cool. So if you had to grade last season, what would you give the season? Because you guys struggled with those away games, and then we had the home games, which bring so much energy. What would you personally give yourself as far as the team last season?
Well, first off, I appreciate you saying we struggled, because that is an understatement. We did more than struggle.
You won 1 or 2 on the road.
You won a few like you got better on the road. Some ended in a draw and that kind of thing. But still, at the end of the day, how would you rate that season? And then think about this upcoming season before it hit with COVID. What you would have thought you would be looking forward to?
I think like last year, I would give it like a C minus, because it was about average. Like, we didn't make playoffs. We should have done a lot better on the road. But coming into this upcoming season, before everything hit, our team is good. We are really, really like good, and the practices are completely different. There's a different mentality, different players. Like, the team just wanted more. It's day in and day out. Like, at training, was just like, oh wow, this is different. And it was, I give our team like a B plus A easily, after playing one game.
Wow. So when everything hit, what was your take on that, and how did you feel? And because you guys were on such a level of a B plus as opposed to the C from that's what you gave last season, how did you feel when this hit, and then where it placed you guys? What was in your space as far as your mentals and physical?
It's obviously upsetting to hear that the season was getting pushed back, and then pushed back more, and then more and more and more, and we still don't have any real answers. And I know they're gonna initiate phase 2 on Friday, but it's still
right.
I haven't heard anything yet, and so it's frustrating. And you just kind of want to get back. And as all players and professional athletes are, we understand that it's not about us, it's about everybody else. So we have to accept that. But it is frustrating, but there's not much we can do right now. So, yeah.
Were you guys holding any secret practices or anything that you've done in this time to condition?
Don't get in trouble, Mo.
No, I mean, not to sneakily say suck out to a field, but just anything. Like, has there been any kind of thing to kind of keep you stimulated into the game, or what have you been doing as far as your pastime for this?
Oh, well, my fiance and I, we'll go out and do our own workouts, but we try to keep our distance from people, because it's not like, if I happen to be sick or she happened to be sick, it's not fair for me to go with my teammates or be around people. We try to keep away as much as possible, because it's not fair to them,
Right. That's a good consideration to have. And speaking of your fiance, which is a congratulations in order.
Thank
Ladies,
you.
He's taken. But tell me about her a little bit, because I noticed that she has some great accolades herself.
Yeah.
She also played soccer as well. And how's that dynamic to your guys' relationship? Is she having that same competitive spirit you have, or is she a good motivator for you to do better, or what's the relationship dynamic between you guys both being athletes?
She's way more competitive than I am with anything that we do, whether it's school, whether it's soccer. She's awesome. But what do you call it? At CSUN, she was by far the better player. It wasn't remotely close. Not even remotely close. I played, I don't know, whatever, 60 games in my 4 years, and she played 82 or 83 and started 83 or 82 of them. She only didn't start one game. She was Big West Woman of the Year. She was first team she was first team once, second team a couple of times. They won their regular season. They didn't win the championship, which we kind of go back and forth about, but she's competitive, and she's studying for MCAT right now, so she's super busy, so super smart. She's ridiculous, honestly.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. Did you guys meet in school, or you grew up together?
No, we met at CSUN. Actually, her older sister I knew before her. So her older sister is a year above me. So when I came to college, I knew of her, and then her sister came the year after my sophomore year, and we kind of just met at a party and kind of just were hi, and
rest is history.
Yeah, pretty
What do
much.
you, as far as your guys' relationship, do you feel that it's helpful that you guys were both athletic or in athletics? Because we see these power couples, you know, kind of like a Julie and Zach Ertz or other dynamic duos that are both in sports professionally or and have been athletic. Do you think that kind of helped your guys' relationship, or is that something that you were able to bond over? I'm sure it sounds like she's pretty competitive, so she's probably trying to get you out there. But,
So like when I'm wake up like early or late and I'm not like in the mood to work out, she's like, "Oh, we're running." We're running. And she just gets it because all her 4 or 5 years at CSUN, she was kind of top dog over there. So she knows what it takes. And if she didn't tear her MCL in her last senior year, I'm pretty sure she could have played pro in the U.S. easily. But she's like, I'd rather be a doctor. And I was like, I think we can agree on that one.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm for it.
But she just completely understands like what I need to do day in and day out to keep myself fit, and she's willing to go out there, and she has as good a technique as I do, so it's fun, definitely.
That's super cool. So what do you think as far as, have you checked in on any of your other teammates to see how they're doing? And I noticed that there's virtual games with the lights on Twitch. Are you participating in any of those virtual games matches that they're doing?
No, I'm not with those virtual games because Josecito has that. He's the PS4 FIFA player that they asked him to do, and he's more than willing to play FIFA, so he's doing that. But we see our teammates every now and then, but we don't try to like do anything crazy with each other, you know.
Right.
It's mainly just formal, and if they want to train like near us, it's perfectly fine, but it's just kind of keeping our distance.
Like, does coach have you guys like on any Zoom calls or anything? Like, what is it that you guys are practicing or keeping? Are you guys ready to be able to get out there and play again? Should there be a call or should there be a notice? Or is it kind of like we've gone this far? Have you heard anything about the season? Do you know much about it?
We don't really know much, but they keep us on track with our Whoop bands right here. So every day they check our sleep, they check when we're working out and day strains and everything. So if
Wait, can you explain that? What is it?
Yeah, well, show that again for everyone to see.
It's a Whoop band, WHOOP. I don't know what it stands for, but
Whoop band, like
yeah,
whoop, there it is.
Yeah, like Whoop, there it is. Yeah, it tracks your heart rate, it tracks your daily strain, your recovery, your sleep. So if you aren't on track, like you'll get a text from Eric saying, "It's like, what are you doing? Like you need to get to work." So you'll get a text here from Eric and just like, "Oh yeah, like I need to get a workout in now." So
wow.
And it'll track everything. It'll track if you're playing soccer, if you're playing basketball. It has like a strain coach on it, which you like start right when you start your workout. So let's say you're on a 5-mile run, you start doing plyometrics or whatever it is. Like it'll recognize the activity and then it will calculate your strain for that day. So you try to average out to be in the top 5 or top whatever you want to be, and you can see other players. So you got to like compete with them too.
So where are you ranked when you do this? Are you in the top 5?
Oh yeah, I have to be top 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Now you mentioned your love for track and field. What events did you play, and then how do you feel as far as with the Olympics and all that getting pushed back? And do you have a favorite female track star or male track star that you look forward to ever meeting, or you watch and kind of admire from afar?
Well, obviously, like you have like a Jackie Robinson, Carl Lewis, because well, my last name's Robinson, so it's kind of just like, oh, okay. As like a kid growing up, you look up to those two, and Jackie Joyner is another one.
Jackie Joyner Kersey, yeah, for sure.
And it's just those are the people that you like look up to, and you're just like, oh, I want to be like them. And I forgot his name. He was like he won the decathlete, I think in 2008. I forgot his name, but growing up, I kind of wanted to become a decathlete, but my main events were long jump and high jump, and I had way more options in track and field than I did with soccer, and it's not even close, like at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. So do you have a favorite sport outside of the track and field and outside of your soccer? Is there a favorite sport that you like to watch as well and spectate on? And if there is one sport that you do like, are you really amped about it coming back? And the third part question of that is, what's your favorite team or who's your favorite team in that sport?
It's a 10-part question,
It is a 10-part question. ABC.
My fiance asked me a whole bunch of questions. This is perfectly fine with me.
You're used to it. Okay, good.
I'm used
All right.
to this.
This is a man that deals with women on a regular basis, so he has us down.
There
Bravo
we go.
to you.
This is perfectly fine. I would say, well, I've been golfing a lot lately. I kind of just got into that a few months ago, like just playing, just to get out there, just kind of like cross training, I guess. But I'm excited for the NBA to come back. And my dad's from Detroit, so I'm a Pistons fan, I'm a Lions fan, Red Wings fan. So we're all Detroit in my family. So it's
now being in Vegas, do you have any secondary teams like our Raiders coming
Don't
up?
feel obligated to mention the R word. It's okay.
Or the Knights or our Aces? Of course, Viva Life.
I really, really want to go see one of the Aces games. Like I really want to go see like them play because I know people that work with like the LA Sparks and she's like having like a great time over there. And I was like, I really want to go to one of their games. Like, I just want to see like what it's all about. And I know they're like great athletes and they're disgustingly underpaid and we can't do anything about it right now, but it's just, I don't know. Like I want to go see one of their games. And
the games are good. Live. They're really good. And what do you think as far as the pay?
Back up. It'll be good.
Yeah. What do you think about the players being in the pay?
Huh?
Go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, we had a question from one of the people watching about how you feel, since we're talking about equal pay and different sports and women in sports, how you feel about the U.S. women's soccer team and their, fight for equal pay.
To me, it's a pretty simple solution. Like, they do better than us in literally everything. Like, regards of like in soccer, like they do everything better than us, and they should be paid just as much. Like, no, there's no way a team should be winning that much, not be getting paid. Like, it doesn't make, and it's clear, it's obvious. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
and we're with you. World Cup multiple times.
Right, that part.
And the U.S. national team, we've gone to the round of 16 or round of 8 only a few times, if that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what else have you done during this quarantine that you normally wouldn't do if you were just home?
Question. Well, I would probably just go out with my fiance, just like go out to dinner, and that's pretty much it. My fiance and I, we're equipped for quarantine because we like to stay in at times. We can stay in, watch Netflix, watch anything pretty much, play video games. Like, we keep ourselves occupied.
Is there a specific like restaurant maybe that you guys enjoy the most, or something that you're both really eager to get back and do once it's open? Like, I know for me to get my manicure done was like, I was dying for, I just wanted my manicure, but I don't know if there's something specific that you or her have been like really trying to get out and do now that we're starting to open back up into phase 2 and whatnot out here in Las Vegas.
Well, we like going to the movie theaters, and we can officially like go back on Friday.
Yeah.
But, she really, really wants to get her ring back because we had to get it resized.
Okay.
Before quarantine started, and everything's been closed, so she hasn't had it for the past few months, and it's tough. It's not to see it all the time, so I think those are the two things. That's definitely on her mind, and she loves working out too, so she wants to get back into the gym as soon as she possibly can.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are eager for that one mostly too, is the gyms and then the movie theaters and stuff. I know they have the drive-ins and stuff open, but to have a movie theater experience, it would be something interesting to go back to and see what that's like. So please let us know. Feel free to let us know what movie you guys check out and how the theater is set up and how it looks. You know, anybody else watching us, any questions you guys have for Gabe, just mention in the comments. We're talking to Gabe Robinson here, Girl Chat Sports, Lights Defender. I mean, I it's just an honor for you to even pop on and talk to us, because we haven't talked lights in so long. And so it's now refreshing to see your face and just kind of reminisce off of the energy that Cashman Field brought. Now, I always ask a specific question to these lights, and you can let me know and be honest. How is your relationship with Dolly and Dottie? Because I love the llamas, and I always have to ask these players about the llamas. So, well, how's that? Are you missing them, or what's going on in your mind when you always interact with the llamas?
Well, I'm an animal lover, like, through and through. Like I love dogs. Like oh my gosh, I miss my dog so much. I need to go back and see her. It's a golden retriever. Her name's Sophie. Yeah. So I always love animals, and I love Dolly.
You love Dolly?
Yeah, they're both awesome.
Yeah.
So
I like her too. I think it's so dope that they have, the lights are so ingenuitive with things that they do with their promotions, and having really Cash the soccer rocker and Finley truck come through, and then you had the pool. We would literally right now in this season probably have a match at Cashman Field where it's the pool side on the sidelines of the field, where you have the little individual pools, probably have some kind of great promotion going on, something with Jarritos involved. Like, we miss all of that, and I especially miss seeing Dolly and Dottie.
Yeah, trust me, we miss it too. A lot.
We got a question from our boy Mike over at Vegas Sports Daily. He asked, what do you miss most about not being with your teammates?
Mainly it's just practice and just like messing around, like just in practice, during games, before games, after games, just like the camaraderie, honestly, just joking around, like just having like a good laugh with all of them is like, you miss it, obviously. And, like, that's what, when people like retire, they're like, oh, you miss the games, you miss the practices, you miss all this, but it's like, you miss the people that are around you,
Right.
So that's what I miss the most.
Is there a particular player that maybe is like the comedian of the team? Is there somebody that's always there for like that keeps keeps you guys morale up, that's always there kind of boosting everybody's spirit?
The high energy guy last year, for like, well, you guys know him pretty well, Kevin. He was definitely
Kevin Garcia. We love Kevin. I know he's not with the team this season, but we wish him the best.
Yeah, I miss Kevin a lot. But he was also on the LA Wolves and Cal United team with me, so I knew him for like the past a few years, and I played against him in college too. So yeah, but I think this year it would be Ramon, and I think Ramon is like high energy and he's always in a good mood. He's like the nicest guy, and it's like coming from like any team that I've ever been on, like there's been like cool guys, like everybody's like nice or whatever, but like he's like, it's just another level, and it's so genuine, and I'm just like, it blows my mind. Like I look at my other team and it's just like, is this guy serious? He's so nice. It's him, and then Jordan's another one that's always like in a good mood, always wants to work hard, always. And I golf with Jordan every now and then, so not a bad golfer, not the greatest, but not bad.
So if we do proceed with having games and having matches, how opposed or unopposed are you if you guys go back into your season with Cashman with no spectators? If that looks like, if you guys can play and there's non-spectators, how would you feel as far as that goes?
It's obviously not ideal, and we want to play in front of Cashman because they bring so much energy to us and how we feel going in and out of the game. And when you're feeling tired and like the 75th minute, like you can hear the crowd go crazy. It's just like, you need that sometimes. But at the end of the day, it is our job and it is what we need to do. So if we have to play in front of nobody, it's what we have to do.
Would you be more eager to get back out there that way as long as you're playing? Or would you rather just say, let's look into 2021 and see what the next season brings?
No, it's definitely like this season. Like people are like itching to get back on the field. Like we need to play. We want to play, and that's all we want to do. So
when you guys come back this season, because we're going to put it out in the universe, we're going to say that you guys are coming back.
Yes, we want our lights back
soon. Now, because you guys are all so amped to get out there on the field, does that mean there's going to be no more road losses? I mean, I think we should just go undefeated. Maybe that's the case. I
mean, it'd be nice to go undefeated. We would all love that. It'd be great. But actually, I mean, we played the road game against San Diego and we did pretty well. So I think this season it's just like a different attitude, and I think we'll do a lot better on the road.
Do you think it's the attitude that's just changed that'll do better for I mean, what exactly do you think may have been the issue last year, or is there much of a change for this year, or you guys are just more in your head that we got to start winning on the road?
Well, the beginning of preseason last year, all we had was home games, so we weren't really challenged on the road. So that could have been part of it. And then this past preseason, we did all our games on the road. So I mean, when we come to Katrin, like, we're supposed to win. We're supposed to come out with a point or at least 3 at the least. But I think it was always like going into those games away. It was if they would get a goal, people's attitudes would drop, and it'd just be like, not again, not again, not again, not again. And it would just creep in the back of your mind. It's like, oh, we're doing good, we're doing good, we're doing good. Or an own goal would happen, or an unlucky defensive mistake would happen, or you miss like a tap or whatever it is. And just like, it just keeps creeping in the back of your head. So I think that's what happened to us last year, but I don't think that's going to happen to us this year.
I think with everyone kind of sitting out and noticing that something like so that we don't think of can be taken away just in a minute, I think everybody's going to come back hungrier, more motivated, and wanting to succeed, because it's almost like you're getting this another opportunity to try to correct or fix the mistakes and make it happen. So I can believe your guys' intent that, and you said yourself with the coaching or with the practice you guys had previous to everything happening, you guys were a B+ team, dare I say A. So it's literally you guys coming back, bringing your A game and winning. So I believe it. I think you guys can do it. I'm putting it out there. Everyone listening, Lights are going to be the USL team in the whole entire league of USL. That's it. I said it. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I mean, because here's the deal. We still need our very first Las Vegas championship. You know what I mean?
We do.
That is true.
No pressure, Gabe. We're just saying, like, it can happen. Why not?
Well, we'll do our best, you know?
Yeah,
we'll do our best.
And I believe that you can. So you guys don't have the same assistant coach anymore, correct? He's no longer with the team, right?
Yeah, Augie's no longer with the team.
Okay. So did you guys find another assistant to take his place, and how's that relationship with you guys?
We have 2 assistants. One is Rudy Ibarra. He's from Santa Barbara, California, and the other is Kel. He's from Atlanta, and he worked with Eric at
nice.
In Atlanta.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Very nice. So you said you're taking up golf, and I know this past weekend some of our viewers have seen it. I know Mel was watching. Did you watch the match at all between?
Yeah, I did.
And what was your take on it? What did you think?
I think Tom struggled a little bit, not gonna lie.
I think Tom and Phil struggled out the gate. When Phil hit that ball into the rough and had to take a drop, all of that was just starting off kind of woohoo.
Yeah, it's a rough start, but golf is like that. So, but you gotta love Peyton Manning, you gotta love Tiger Woods. So
absolutely.
You gotta love Chuck. So
it was really interesting to see Chuck be up in there. Now, did you watch Last Dance too? And you being a Bad Boys Piston fan, what was your take on the whole Jordan thing? If you watched, what did you think as far as that and Isaiah Thomas and everything that went with that?
Well, my dad and I, we already knew what do you call it, that like about the Pistons like way before. So we knew that if it wasn't necessarily for the Pistons, I don't think Michael Jordan turns into like who he really is, you know? However great Michael is, he doesn't get that. Well, he is actually like that psychotic mindset where he's like, he said something about me. He's like, okay, that's it. We're good. Like, I'm ready to go. I don't think that hits until he gets into Detroit, because they were just beating him up nonstop year after year. So
yeah, the Jordan rules. I mean, those were intense.
Yeah, the Jordan rules. That was a real time thing. So let's talk about your family. I know, and I was stalking your IG. Forgive me. Like that. I just kind of was blazing through, but I saw you have wonderful parents out there, a great big sister and everything. How is your relationship with your family, and how was the influence of advice from your mom and your dad, as well as your older sister, to make you the person that you are today?
Well, my sister's only about a year and a half older than me, so we were extremely competitive with each other whether it was school or academics, well, school or athletics, I should say. And so I've always had her to lean on. And she was a volleyball player, and she also played track. She also played soccer. She also played 4 years of high school volleyball and was the MVP of her team her last season of track and volleyball. So she was a great athlete. My mom played volleyball in college, and my dad was Division I high jumper. So we all know what we need to do to get to that point. So, but I talk to my parents almost every day, every other day. So I'm really, really close with them.
That's great. That's great. And so, what do you expect as far as with Vegas in their slow phase opening? What are you expecting to be the most kind of memorable thing out of this whole thing that we've experienced so far? What is your biggest takeaway, and what do you think you can use from that takeaway to apply to your game or anything in the future for yourself?
Well, if you went into this quarantine like lacking something, whether with me it's a left foot or agility wise, like if you don't come out being better at one of those two things, I think you kind of wasted quarantine. And it tests you mentally, because you kind of like a little bit lose hope, and you're just like, well, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And it's just like you kind of like play this like mind game with yourself. And if you're not mentally strong, it'll hurt you like a lot. So it for me, like coming out of this, it's the mental strength that everybody has, whether it's from the coaches, from the players, from the owners. Like you have to be mentally strong to get through this, and that's even included with people who have day-to-day jobs. Like it's tougher on them than it is for us. Like this is just a sport. This is a game to us. Like it is our job, but it's like we do this for our living, but it's for fun. Like you don't do this unless you're having fun. So
well, that kind of led me to another question too. Was how are you dealing with the mental health part of it? Who's been there? I mean, obviously, besides your fiance and your parents that you talk to daily, which is amazing. That's great. Keep it up. But what is it that you're also doing to help with that mental health portion? I think what we all realize throughout the quarantine is that people, it's been affecting them differently. We've heard a lot of professional sports stars come out and talk about their own mental health and how it's been affected. Like, what do you think are some things that you've been doing, or maybe as a team, there's been things that have been, group text or whatever, that's helped kind of keeping everybody's mental health up?
I think, well, what I've been doing is I've been going out golfing and kind of getting my head clear of like things, because if you just let like for instance, when I was playing like last year, you had a bad pass or you had a bad game or whatever it was, like it was tough, and that's all you think about. That's all you think about. That's all you think about. And you try to do better at practice. You have a bad week of practice. Like it's difficult to bounce back from that, but when you have to, you have to. And it's just like my fiance has helped me a lot. My parents have helped me a lot, but also like this two of my teammates, like Grant and Jordan, would reach out, like I said, so like they are just, the teammates like on this team are just like so nice and so genuine. They're such like great people, and I can't say enough good things about them, honestly.
Except for Tommy.
Except for Tommy. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. I love Tommy. You know that's my guy.
Fine, I'll give you Tommy.
Gabe's my new guy now, though.
Good, cool. I'm glad.
I love it. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I have to say, we look forward to seeing you on the field. We look forward to hopefully socially distancing, but seeing you in person enough to just kind of give you a virtual high five at this moment. And great job on everything that you've done so far. Keep up with the work. And we just look forward to seeing you out on the field. It's been amazing talking to you and getting some insight, because like I said, we miss our lights, and I miss Dolly and Dottie a lot. And shout out to Harry, shout out to Eric, shout out to everybody behind the scenes. We want our lights back. I want my lights back.
We all want the lights back.
We all want the lights back. Yeah.
And hey, keep up the quarantine beard. Like, I don't think any so far.
I like it. I'm not opposed to it.
Now, does that get in the way of aerodynamics as far as playing soccer or anything, or no?
I don't think so. No.
All right.
It sticks back and everything, so it's all good.
Gabe, where can the listeners follow you if they want to check on? I don't know if you have a Twitter. I know you have your Instagram, so that if anybody wants to follow you and keep up with the lights from your perspective, how can they follow you?
I only have Instagram, so it's just Gabe_Robinson. It's pretty simple. Yeah, it's a lot of my fiance, so yeah, it's okay.
All right, that's cool.
You gotta have number one fan somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Gabe, for joining us. We definitely want to have you back on, and we can't wait to actually be near the field and seeing you guys play again.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it, and hope you guys have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gabe. We appreciate you. Take care. Stay safe.
Oh, love
Gabe
it.
Robinson, Las Vegas Lights defender.
Yeah.
Man, what an awesome guy.
And just for light fans who are still out there, like if you're wondering what to do with your scarf that you've had from the winter time, I mean, you can easily make it into a nice little head wrap. Now, when you haven't washed your hair or dyed your hair for a while, these are some of the things that you have to turn into during quarantine. So I was able to use our light scarves and make it into a nice little headband.
Yeah, very creative with that, Mel. Very creative. And this is for the ladies or gents, however you want to work your scarf. Yes, you got an option. Yes. Check in, Stephanie. Yes, Viva Lights. We miss our lights so much, you know. I got my little Eric Ronaldo jersey on. Yeah.
No.
We miss our fellas.
Too. Yeah. There's so much show to be had, and there's so much stuff to talk about. But I think it's going to be – here's the deal. I think out of all the teams that don't need fan base, I feel like the Lights, that's their number one thing is the fans there. I think that's the hardest hit. That'll be the hardest hit sports for us is the Lights because, those fans are pretty amazing.
I mean, shout out to La Fuerza and Electric Company. I mean, they bring the noise and funk, and they are the ones that are boosting the fans as well. And not have that. Huh?
Shout out to Llama Dude.
Yeah, Llama Dude with Electric Company. I mean, that's part of it. They're a part of the Lights themselves. I mean, to not be able to see any of that is just, it kind of saddens me. I didn't realize it until I put the jersey on today that I was like, oh my God, we have not been to a Lights match. And low-key, I'm missing them.
I was like, gosh, I haven't worn this.
Exactly. I wore my Lights tee like yours during quarantine. Of course, I'm going to wear tees all day. But to just put it on and actually talk to a Lights player, I mean, it's been very refreshing. I mean, we have not talked about our soccer and our Las Vegas teams in a while. So it was really, really good to have him on. Yes. So
I love
so what did you think of the match when you watched Saturday? What did you think of the match when you watched?
What? The match?
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious, the comments from Sean Payton and a few other the NFL guys talking about how the Tom Brady in Florida, they were glad to see his first loss as the Florida Tom Brady. So the NFC South is looking forward to him, splitting his pants per se during the season.
He did split his pants. But he split his pants off an awesome shot, I guess, from what I was told.
Yeah,
I missed that part.
He pulled a for real Michael Jordan GOAT moment. When Chuck calls him out, he was like, "Oh, you gonna talk? Okay, let's talk about this." Bam, next shot. That was amazing.
And the way it was something to bring light of sports. That's for sure. Yeah. I said that was something to bring light of sports. That's for sure. I mean, it was good to at least watch something of a spectator, because I can't take ESPN Ocho anymore, and I can't take just the old retro games like you had stated before too. It's just getting a little too much, and now they're doing these retro MLB games, and I'm like, I need to see the real time. I need to see.
Well, that's the thing is if anyone that knows me knows that I hate golf. I played at Top Golf. I've matured my ability from miniature golf to Top Golf, but that's it. I don't, unless I'm driving a cart, I don't foresee myself being on the greens. But being able to watch the match and watch it with Peyton and Tom and Tiger and Phil, they're all first names, so I know them, of course. No, but seeing it with them and also having them prepared us by doing some of the Instagram lives and the Zoom meetings and seeing kind of how they feed off of each other, watching them and listening to them with their little one-liners and their quick wits. I think that's what kept me wanting to watch the match. Is I can't say I was there just to watch golf. I wanted to see what was said, who was talking smack, the back and forth banter, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was really cool how they had them mic'd up so you could hear that, not only for themselves with the social distancing,
Right.
how they were preparing to play each hole. It just was really cool, like you said, with the trash talk and everything. So
what retro games are those retro games?
Arlington says those retro games are bomb. Yeah, I watched game 3 of Cleveland and Golden State Warriors one night, and I was like, it's cool, but honestly, you guys, if I got NBA 2K in my house, which I do have an Xbox, that's what I'm on. I'm playing tournaments on the game. Current roster, well, except for WNBA, the roster's not as current because we had some change-ups. But it's still good to play that virtual type of game and feel like you're in the game, like you're watching and kind of doing some things and having that same excitement, seeing that whole commentators that you have on the video game. It's cool. It's a cool little look. It's a good time waster. But at the end of the day, I still want to see real time. I'm not saying I'm giving up on that.
It's something good to have in the background. I'm a big multitasker, so I like to have something on the TV in the background. But I can't sit there and just continue to watch some of these old games, like all the Warriors games. Like I love the Warriors, but I can't just keep watching those games. I don't know, but anyways, it's just too much.
It is.
Sports. I'm tired of Sports Center playing the same, hey, what's the top 10 from 1976? Like, I don't care anymore. I just want real-time sports. So speaking of real-time sports, there was some announcements. Here in Las Vegas, we're going into phase 2 on Friday. And that also opened up and gave the approval for UFC and Dana White to continue on with the main, what is it, main fight or?
May 30th at the Apex Center.
The main event.
Yes, the main event, but at the Apex Center, yeah.
And that's good, but I'm more interested in the June 6th fight, which is UFC 250. It'll also be here, also at the Apex, but that Amanda Nunes fight is coming. That's what I'm ready for.
I'm ready for it too.
I mean, yeah. Other than that, what else did we learn about? The WNBA teams had to cut down to 12 players so they could get their first paycheck on June 1st, which is
good. Which is really good.
Well, it's good they're getting paid, but it's tough that you have to make cuts before even having practices and tryouts. So, like our aces, we have 11 spots. Like, where's the 12th? Why didn't you just keep a 12 in there? I don't.
Well, Ty retired. She's officially retired. Not coming back, so we miss her. Sydney got moved to another team. I mean, depending on who's out there, and I don't know what happened to Epiphany Prince. Like, I would love to kind of know the answer to why she is not on this roster this season. I play her on 2K though. She's a great filler for off the bench. I'm not even going to front, so I feel like she should be part of that backup roster. You also don't have Jin-Soo Park, who's over in South Korea, so it's a lot of different things that they're making maneuvers for. And then segueing into the NBA, they're talking about just topping it off with just very few teams. I think the best of 16 that go on to play these playoff rounds based off of their stats, based off of where they rank on the Western Eastern Conference. So, and the fact that they're trying to do it in this Orlando Disney Athletic Complex is incredible to try and make that work. And the bubble philosophy that they have behind it to try to protect their players and the families with COVID. So it's going to be interesting.
I mean, did they give it? Because I know that they said that they were supposed to have some kind of answer by this Friday, but now it doesn't look like it's going to be this Friday. The only thing that I have a question with is that you've got the NBA who's thinking about either one location or possibly up to 4 locations, it sounds like. You've also got the NHL that announced, and they're like the very first professional league to really activate a plan on reopening. And they're going to go, they stopped the regular season. Our Golden Knights have won #1 in the Pacific Division, and they're going straight into a 24-team playoffs, which usually is a 16-team. But anyways, but so they might be starting training back in mid-July with hopes to be playing this tournament-style playoffs ending in sometime, I guess, when they're usually ending. But they were going to have two specific sites. So Las Vegas, I know, is a contender for both the NBA as well as the NHL. There's no way they could do both, right?
Well, the NHL, from what I understand, Vegas Lights, there are no more home games once they kick off this playoff thing. So we're not going to see any home games from the Lights. It's all going to be their road games, apparently.
No, the Knights, I'm saying that the Knights want, like, it's the Vegas would be a venue for the NHL to have one of these sites.
I haven't heard any more on that. I don't know how sure or how that is. If anybody knows, tap in. I haven't heard anything else.
Cities they have on a list, like it's Chicago, here, Toronto, Vancouver, LA. There's like 8 different cities they're trying to choose and narrow down to 2. But apparently, the Canadian rules are that if you were to cross the Canadian border, there's an automatic 14-day quarantine period. So
right, of course,
you have to have both of the facilities be here in the U.S., which is understandable. So.
Right, and that makes sense, especially if they're traveling. They have to do a 14-day quarantine just to come in. So, yeah, that will make sense. I don't know if Vegas is going to be the epicenter for that. It's going to be interesting because, again, that's an MGM property with T-Mobile. So, again, MGM is not opening anytime soon that we know of. I mean, I think a few.
Well, no, because the top ranked boxing, they have fights at MGM, and that's June 9th and 11th, I think. So MGM properties are opening up. I mean, there some are more than later. I think Aria is like the last casino that's supposed to open, and there is like in July or something. But everything
Luxor is not till next year, and I think Aria, from what I was told from
people. No, I just
really.
Yeah, go on my Facebook page. I just posted a whole list, like the whole list, literally. I'm gonna find it right now because
because my aunt works for, not to put her on blast, but she works for Luxor, and sadly was mentioning how they laid everybody off and they're not opening until 2021. But
no, there's a whole list. So if you go on my Facebook, it's the reopen. Shout out to Alicia Gibbs who forwarded this on. So Aria is set for July 1st. Bally's, so most of them are June 4th. Most of the strip is going to reopen June 4th. So that's Bally's, Bellagio, Caesar's Palace, Circus, the Cromwell, even though we know Dre's is closed for this season, it sounds like. The Delano is July 1st. Excalibur is July 1st. Everything else is pretty much June 4th.
Is Luxor on there?
Yeah, Luxor is July 1st.
Okay.
And Stephanie is in here too as well.
Cool.
June 4th. So I think that probably might have been a catalyst for reopening maybe a little bit easier some of these properties, because if we can get NHL and or both and NHL and NBA here in Las Vegas, that's one easy way to start bringing back some money, I would assume.
Yeah. That would be great.
Any word about the Rio, your favorite? Really, Alex? The Rio, and Alex, you can go on my Facebook and click on the link I had posted on my personal Facebook. Let me see the Rio. June 4th. Everything is basically June 4th. And if not June 4th, it's going to be like July 1st or something. And shout out to Stephanie, who is our social media manager for Boyd Gaming. Her guys are going back to work too. Woo!
Oh, wow. Good job. Congratulations.
Yay, we're excited for staff. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
The very first casino that's going to open up is Arizona Charlie's.
Well, I used to like Arizona Charles. They had a 77-cent breakfast. I couldn't be wrong with it. That was my go-to.
Yeah, what was that though? I don't even know.
Whatever. They got the bingo every odd hour, and I was playing the bingo too. I mean,
I don't think
they gotta open up something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be, to get some of these people, because a lot of people are bored in their house and they're just over it. And so whatever it takes. I agree, Stephanie. Bring them to the Orleans Relief. That's where I feel like the Aces are playing from get-go. Honestly, I mean, that would be a good look too, off-site, off-property, not off the strip or whatever. But yeah, I mean, shoot, you couldn't go wrong with Arizona Charles and that 77-cent breakfast or the bingo every odd hour. Shout out to my girl Elizabeth, who used to go bingo lady with me. Shout out to her up in Seattle. Shout out to her doing the most with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with this NBA season of yours? I mean,
does it make sense to start in July and it rolls all the way through September, and you have a preseason start in October? Does it make sense to do that?
I mean, do you scratch the whole season though?
Why not? I mean, if preseason starts in October and you start in a tournament in playoffs, and depending on if it's a best of 7 or is it best of 5 or is it best of 3, you get close to October by that point. You got July.
Right, but they're already talking like they could just delay the entire season. Like they might just start playing basketball season in like December, January from now on.
Well, if they do, then what do? Are you continuing with the playoff season, or are you scratching this season, taking the L, and saying we're going to start our new season all over again?
Well, that's the thing, is that I think it'd be work better if they decided to take a later season to continue on with the playoffs here.
No. Because again, if they're in quarantine and they haven't been practicing, they haven't played competitively against another player for
every sport's been of that. You know,
exactly. But at the same time, why is it fair? And I'm like Dame Dollar right now. Why is it fair to play in something that we don't have a potential win to advance to?
No, I get that part, but I'm saying it go into a playoff like how the NHL is. At least if they're bringing the teams in that can play into getting into the playoffs.
So you cut out all those other teams that are vying for the berth of playing for the playoffs then.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind it being a Laker fan. I love that we're number 1 in the West, but I also am okay with them starting the season anew come fall.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. Because to me, it's going to give me, and I'm taking it more personal, because it's going to give me high anxiety if we don't win. Or if we go in and it's sloppy and it don't look the same. It's just a different hit. It doesn't hit the same. Why not just start anew with the new season, preseason starting in October? And if you want to go, and if you really wanted to do it NBA, if you really want to do a playoff thing, or forget the playoffs, take the number 1 seed out of the East, take the number 1 seed out of the West, and let them play them and end it. If you're going to scratch all these other teams, take the top 2 and play them.
But they scratch them every time it comes playoff time. So what do you mean? I don't know what that means.
No, I mean, like, as far as other teams, like if we look at Portland's nowhere on their playoff list. They're not.
Well, they're only 3.5 games back, but they're not.
Exactly. But
yeah, they're not on the list for making the playoffs. So could they get cut off, and then we have the playoff teams continue on with the rest of the season?
I don't know. What do you think? You want to see it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it should be just wasted where there's no I mean, if they can safely open it up, if other professional leagues are continuing on their season, I don't see why it would be hard for the NBA to finish off this season by just scrapping the rest of the season and just going on with playoffs.
That sounds easy, but it seems difficult because no one can seem to make a decision on the announcement of what they're going to do.
Speaking of difficulties, how about these Major League Baseball players?
Oh, they're struggling, poor guys. It's a struggle.
So I don't know where it was, but I saw, because, you know, basically they're being requested to cut, it's almost like they're getting taxed by the government for their salaries. Like they're basically being told they have to cut their salaries back. Now I saw one example, whereas one person who was making like $34 million in 2019-20 season would be making $7.5 million.
Well, baseball has no cap, so they're always going to have that bread.
No. You didn't hear me. They're going from $35 million from the last season to only getting $7 million. So they've literally
How much has MLB lost since the season hasn't been going?
Oh, I'm sure they may have lost money. I mean, I get it, but if you're used to making even if it's
they don't want to play. They don't want to play at that. They don't want to play with that type of money. They don't want to risk it.
But it's not even about playing. Is that they're telling them that their pay's getting cut because the season got cut. You know, why are you getting paid for games that you're not playing? I mean, was
that always their rule though?
I don't know.
I mean, it's still millionaires, right? I can't be salty.
Some of them aren't. But I know the ones who are millionaires are getting taxed more. And that's why I don't understand why some of them are getting so defensive. Like the local boy here, he got really into it about Bryce Harper. Was kind of like, yeah, I'm with Blake Snell. Like, I don't think we should be having to lose money. Which is like, I mean, you're making a ton of money. You're not playing right now.
Well, I mean, you could say that with all the teams then, if they had to take a pay cut, or they try to do that with the NBA too, with some of their players and their salaries. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Sports Nisa is
a significant cut. Sports Nisa, $30 million to $7 million. Yeah, I mean, if that's what their contract is telling them that they are getting, they should have their contract and respect that. It's not their fault that this has occurred. It's no one's fault.
And I'm sure there's no COVID clause. Like, I'm sure from this point forward, we'll see.
There probably will be some COVID liability clause.
Sure.
I'm sure there will be. I was watching the sports with Brian Gumbel this past HBO. I don't know if anybody watched it, about the South Korean baseball team, how they had no spectators and what that looked like, and how some of the American players that are playing on those South Korean teams, how you can hear every single sound on their games.
Really?
Even though you're distant, you can hear the grunt of a bat being hit by a player. You can hear their heavy breathing. You can hear all of that. Something that you normally wouldn't have as a white noise, you're hearing.
Wow.
Now. So if the MLB comes back and there's no spectators, they can probably expect that. I know the Astros are probably happy.
I think everybody thought that because the Major League Baseball has like the most distance between the people on the field, and that they could probably be the first, team that our first league is able to come back without too much problem. It's just surprising that they're having almost like the hardest time now.
Because it's a dugout. You have to see, how are you going to have all your players in the dugout at once? You can't high five your players. There's no spitting on the field in South Korea. So when you call a batter up, how does that look? Are they staying in another cut in another room? And then you got to take time for them to do their walkout. So it's all of those factors. And MLB has to look at that as well. How are you going to have all these players as adjustments in a dugout? Can't spit the sunflower seeds, can't chew your tobacco, can't high five. All that American stuff that we love about baseball can't happen. So what does that look like? What do you say? Adjustments being made by everyone, network owners. That's the thing. Ratings are going to be up because everybody's going to have some kind of league pass on their TV if there's no spectators or any of that kind of stuff. So
that's going to be wild.
It is going to be wild. And I miss my baseball too. I miss seeing my Dodgers. Yeah, it is the strongest in pro sports. MLB has so much money. It's ridiculous. That's why I just kind of fathom behind that you're asking these players that you shelled out so much money to pay for a cut and pay when you already generate so much. That's why I was curious to see how much has the MLB lost this whole entire time during this COVID.
But it's kind of like how these casinos out here.
I feel like it's only a few 100,000 that they've lost so far. Like, I don't think it's millions. I think it's high 600,000, somewhere in there. That's my guess.
Well, that's what I was just saying, is that it's kind of like the casinos out here, how they've made so much money over how many years, yet once we shut down, they were laying people off like that. Like, you don't have the money. I mean, except for Wynn paid their employees, I think, even through the end of May. And some of them have gone back to working, obviously. But it's just it's a similar thing. Like, how does a corporation make so much? And then when it comes to something halting for a minute, that they're just losing all the money.
Because the money was never in gaming at these properties. Let's be honest. The gaming is in shows and nightlife. If you don't have the nightlife and you don't have these fancy celebrity DJs coming in town, I know how our city was inundated because I work on the Strip. It was mostly visitors coming to these clubs because they wanted to see Drake, or they wanted to see, they want to see the DJs or these rap artists or whoever else is coming. That's what generated the money. Gambling,
right? But I'm thinking they've generated money for so long. Like, they've generated. It wasn't like it. The club.
Were they generating, or were they recycling the money?
Gotcha.
That's the difference. Were they generating, or were they recycling the money? Because we don't know what their books look like. I'm not an accountant for them. I don't know, but it sounds like.
I would. Depending
on what and let's be clear, they paid these artists. I think Drake alone, for every show he performed, was getting $10 million.
Now, I wonder what happened with their contracts. Like, some of these residents that were supposed to be performing all year.
That's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know. That's a great question. And that's another loss that the city's going to have to try to make up for in some kind of way. You have no cirque shows. You have no concerts. You have no nightclubs, day clubs, and then you can't do poker rooms for poker tournaments. So what's that? I mean, what is going on?
Did you see how they have some? I just can't wait to see how this plexiglass is everywhere in a casino, or people are getting they're getting the thermometer on their forehead, or
the thermal cameras,
passing out masks and PPE. Like, what is going to make you? I mean, when are you going to feel safe to walk in a casino? I don't know when. I mean, and then they're talking about having no smoking. because obviously,
well, I mean, you gotta
take your mask off to smoke, and everybody knows that Vegas casinos are full of it's legal to smoke in, and you can be smoking anywhere inside. So that's a major thing that we hadn't really thought about. But that, I think they should definitely have that, let that go. If you got to have them take a mask.
They are going to let it go. Ain't no thinking. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. It's going to be no smoking. I kind of see that coming, especially with the circumstances surrounding this and what it can cause or what it can lead to. That's going to happen. I don't know when I'll be. I mean, I trust that everyone, and shout out to Sandra Douglas, who is over the Gaming Control Board. Shout out to her. I mean, they're doing everything they possibly can to try and make it safe for visitors to come and for us locals and for the workers. So we've got to trust the process as best as we can. And like I said, I'm not going to be a beta tester. I would like to kind of just see how everything looks. I'm not one of those to just jump head first into something. I kind of want to see how it projects, but we need it. It's not like we can stall any longer with this. We do need something. So yeah, we'll see. That's gonna be interesting.
I know my only thing is, like, I know it was critical for us to get our casinos back open, to get businesses back open, but like having like the water park back open and some of these swimming areas that have it's just gonna be a congregation of a bunch of kids and a bunch of people crowded. I'm curious to know how they even can work that out. I don't know. I don't want to go to a public pool. Like, I'll go to a friend's house, but I'm not sure how I feel at a public pool right now.
I mean, chlorine's supposed to kill it, so I mean, it's just the crowds. I don't know.
So did the sun. The sun's supposed to kill it. The heat's supposed to kill it. Chlorophene, whatever. Trump. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. I can't.
I don't know how those water parks. It's been a minute since I've done the water park thing. Being that I used to work at Wet n Wild back in the day in '94, I mean, it all looked like kind of Corona-like back then. And I worked in the gift shop. I was nowhere going to be outside with all that. But I liked it. I just don't know what that new model looks like going forward. And, you know, blessed be. I think people just need to tread light and just have the discernment to know, assess a scene. If it looks too packed, don't go. It's just that simple. You know, but people are going to naturally hoard. Everyone wants a close contact. Everyone wants some kind of social interaction. And I think when we see that, we get excited and we forget about all the things that have happened. And we immediately just are so used and programmed to hugging folks, touching folks, whatever, that it's going to be what it is. And we won't see the numbers for months from now. So we don't know, but we just can't sit idle for any longer. They gotta do something. So this is their something.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Pray.
Bring on some sports. Come on. If we're gonna open stuff, like, bring on the sports. Like, we're ready.
I'll wait to see everybody's stories on Facebook and what they're doing and Instagram and stuff. See how that looks. That's been my kind of way to model and see what's going on, is everyone that likes to post everything that they're doing. So we'll see how that looks with them going to the casinos and all of that you're talking about.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is with the strip opening up soon, if anyone wants to get their bike ride in, you might want to do it in the next few days.
Oh man, that's coming. That window is getting smaller and smaller by the day, by the minute. And even with the NFL, you know, they were talking about NFL doing full participation in the stadiums, full spectators. Like, they want Raider Stadium full, or they want sections off or different parts of the arena for people to attend. But they're pushing for a full go. So.
Wait, you were telling us about the stadium because you went there yesterday.
Oh my gosh! Shout out to my brother. Shout out to Ursula that came. That was another Phaler Raider fan from the Bay. It was great. I mean, it's a huge arena. And what I liked is coming up on those sidewalks that are newly constructed off of Dean Martin, as well as off of, what's the other little side street there? I can't remember, off of Hacienda. But anyway, I like how each little section of the sidewalk had sanitizer stations, auto sanitizers. So as you walk by, you're going to have that. It was cool to see how the sod, we were able to take pictures of the sod laid out at the bottom. That's going to retract for the stadium. It was really cool. They didn't turn the lights on. We were there during the daytime, like around 6 or 7-ish. And then as it got dark, we were like, turn the lights on. We're all yelling at the construction guys, turn the lights on. They never turned the lights on while we were there. And then I heard after we left, they turned the lights on because someone drove by. But it's so next level. And my brother and I, shout out to him, we're talking about how the PSLs are completely sold out for Raider Stadium, but they are not sold out for Chargers and Rams. They barely sold 50% of their PSLs.
Well,
they have not sold any
close to being ready
season tickets, huh?
Their stadium isn't even close to being ready.
It's not, but they're not saying if whether, I mean, people aren't jumping on it to already have their dibs in. Why, when you know a stadium is being built, why wouldn't you go after your PSL tickets living in that county or that city and go for it? You know what the stadium is going to look like. You know, where are the Charger fans? Where are our Bolts fans? Why are not buying
their PSL might be even more.
It could possibly be, but it might even be worth, I don't know if it's worth the investment like a Raiders PSL is. Because you got to understand, 60% of them were locals, 40% were from out of town. And I know this section that my brother has, and I won't disclose, but the second party resale on that is more than $2,000 for that Saints game.
Right.
So even if they do decide to bring the spectators back, I wonder who's going to pay those big dollars for attendance to the games. Are you going to pay the $1,000 up in the nosebleed or the $3,000 in the 100 section off the
not on DirecTV?
Right. Or you're going to pay $5,000 for your seats in the black hole. Like, what are you going to do? You know, it's going to be interesting.
Oh, I think Steph was, so I think you guys.
So I didn't get in. There was no way I could get in.
Right.
There's no way I could get in. So basically, if you go down to Allegiant Stadium, it is all fenced off. However, you do have access to some of the walking sidewalks area, but you literally have to walk that whole perimeter to get a good view and angle of how it works. We even figured out how it works when the visiting team comes in. There is no parking that you will see visually for players or opponents. It all goes underground. Yep, all goes underneath, you know. But, excuse me, the cool thing about it is to kind of gauge where you could park. We saw a little area for the paid parking, which is not a lot. And you can strategize where to park to walk to the aisle. So there are some little pockets and places that people could probably get away with parking to make it there for games.
Well, because they're going to figure something out.
What's that?
They got to figure something out for the parking.
They do. I mean, it's a mess.
But, and with the quarantine thing having happened, and they're focused just on the stadium, they need to focus and get their focus back out on where these people are going to be parking, because that could be like a whole season-long issue that they're going to have to deal with.
Oh, it's already going to be a season-long issue. There's no getting away. If you could see how they have it designated, there's not enough for spectators. You're going to pay a lot of money to park at Allegiant, the way they have that set up. You better just look for some good spots there, get there super, super early. All those little dinky Hamptons and Marriott motels and stuff, when it's game day, those rooms are probably going to be how it was for Oakland on the last Thursday night football game against the Chargers. Those dinky little motels were $300 a night.
Oh, they're going to be, for sure.
That's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. It's going to be so insane.
Dinky as they're not casinos, but they're still decent hotels.
Yeah, right.
You're going to a budget suites or a Motel 6. Those are like a Homewood Suites. Those are like nice places that you might want to.
Yeah, it's a Marriott. It's like some
but
other
still not worth
$300. They're going to be expensive. They're going to be, and they don't provide parking either. So if you're a guest, it's like, yeah. And then Stephanie, Uber is great. I use the heck out of it, but I don't know what that line looks like.
But they got to work on that
to get dropped off.
They got to work on that. It's going to be easy to get everybody there because everybody shows up at different times. Everyone's to pregame, but getting everybody to leave when the game's over,
that's going to be the hectic part. That's going to be very hard. That's going to be it's going to be EDC all over again. You're stuck for hours on hours.
I just want to say hi to my mom. She tuned in.
Oh, hi, Doreen. Yeah, they had side streets that they've opened up now within some of those business complexes across from it. So some of them open up to Main Street. So it's just going to be crazy. Yeah, you're going to have to walk to the stadium. That's exactly what my brother was saying.
There's nowhere but at least in Oakland, they're going on. They have public transit like the BART they can get there on. You can't get to the Al. I'm not taking the RTC unless it's like from like a shuttle spot. I mean, because we know Vegas.
Well, they're going to do that. You know they're going to do that too. They'll have an RT bus, especially like they have one for the Knights and the Aces. They'll have one for this.
You can't physically go to a stadium like you would in any other city and tailgate with all your friends. You're literally going to have to be at separate scattered sites, which is kind of
there's definitely no tailgating, which sucks because I missed that. But yeah, like to BS's point, in Alameda, you go to a Raiders game. There was actually some cool little nooks and crannies you could park at and walk there and be okay.
Like, well, there's restaurants and all that stuff right there. Right there at the Legion is just a bunch of like,
No, there's nothing. There's nothing. I mean, like I said, they opened up roads, and where we parked, of course, with it being vacant, we could have parked a little closer. We just didn't know where there was a good parking spot for us to go and, you know, see it. But all in all, it was a cool experience. I know some other people that have rode by there and taken pics and stuff. So they did a great job with constructing of it, and to see the glass and to see how you can see in the arena, even from the outside looking in, was kind of dope. Okay. And I do have some pics. Shout out to Ray. He sent me pics early this morning of one of his friends that's working on the site who got me inside photos and video of what the stadium is looking like right now. Check out GirlChatSports. I will be posting those so you can see those too.
Good.
Yeah. So
before we go, we do have like a little bit of a girl power moment as well.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Girl power / Seattle power, I guess you could say. So we're gonna have a virtual ESPYs. That's never happened before, but it seems like with award seasons, it's going to probably be happening more often now. But we got a virtual ESPYs going to be hosted by Megan Rapinoe, Sue Bird, and Russell Wilson. I'm pretty excited about
Seattle's finest.
I'm pretty, but
I never watched the ESPYs. Can I keep it 100 with you? I never watched them. I watched for the fashion in the very beginning, and then that's it. I don't ever watch it. But this time around, I'm very curious to see how that's set up, to see what the virtual world is going to look like with doing an ESPY Awards. And speaking of awards, I know the NBA has pushed back the Hall of Fame Awards. It's going to resume to next year in 2021. So I was kind of disappointed in seeing that, because I know they were going to do a posthumous award for Kobe Bryant, some type of Hall of Fame award. But that's all right. We can wait till 2021 on it. It's cool. But yeah, I mean, to see the virtual of the ESPYs, that I'm for it, because this will be my first time to actually sit down and watch its entirety.
I'm just excited. I mean, I always watch them usually. I like the special award parts, like the Seeger Award and all the other ones they've got. But of course, now I have to watch it for sure, because it has like 3 of the best people in Seattle. So.
You in Seattle. I'm almost to the point, this audience, I'm almost to the point of telling Mel to go back to Seattle. That's how much she carries Seattle. But she's here in Vegas. So she needs to rep Vegas. She needs to rep Vegas. It ain't about where you from, it's where you at. And right now you're in Vegas. I need no more of the Seattle. Okay.
Yeah, but you can't. That's because you haven't gone. I know if you were to go live somewhere else, you'd be repping Vegas. I'm from Vegas. You
know what? I totally would if it was the South.
Or why would it matter?
If it was New York, I would probably not pipe in about Vegas. Past New York, not this New York. Not now. Not now. But we love you here in Vegas. We are happy that you're here.
I love it here.
And it's good that you don't forget where you're from, and to acknowledge that in serious talk. But yeah, it should be cool. Russell's, man, he's a decent guy. And who better to have Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe? And if you guys follow them on IG, their virtual chat and interview and their interactions with different athletes, different celebrities, different political figures, it's amazing. That is probably one of the best things that I have captured out of this quarantine, is watching them actually in their own little habitat of their home, talking and discussing a lot of different things in the world of sports or social issues or any of that. So it's been really cool. So I think they are very fitting to be host for this ESPYs. So girl power to them.
Girl power.
Girl power. Yes.
Woo. And that's another Wednesday wrap up for us.
Yes. I mean, we had a great show.
Big shout out to Gabe Robinson, who joined us from the Las Vegas Lights. If you're just catching this live feed, you're welcome to hang out, because you can rewatch it when it's over with. We'll also be posting the links again tomorrow to check it out. But continue to rock with us. We love you guys.
Rock with us. And if you ever want to be on our show and talk with us, just let us know. Hit us up. GirlChatSports on IG, Twitter, Facebook. We're everywhere.
If you had, just so you know, if anyone's out there that still wants a hat, send us an email.
Oh, yeah. The hats are on deck. Please send us an email. Shout out to Cal, who just received his order shipment. Thank you so much for the overwhelming love and support. Thank you, Mel, for putting the best care packages of the hats together. And yeah, we try to do it as best as we can, as social distance as we can. We miss Qual. We miss our studio. We miss being at Gorilla Cross. We miss our mural on the wall, because that is our mural. No matter how many people take pictures in front of it, it still represents Girl Chat, let's be clear. And we just, you know, we can't wait to see people on the other side, and hopefully it'll be sooner than later.
We just want to be safe, that's all.
Yeah, and be safe. Yeah, we got to be safe. We got to be safe. So shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you so much for our love and support.
Thank
and
you so much for love.
Appreciate it. Anybody down with the Xbox thing? I'm still like working on honing my craft on WNBA, but I do have a live account. So I'm
Is there a handle you got? What do you got?
Yeah, they could DM me for the handle. It's too long. It's okay. My middle name, and I'm not even about, and it's spelled totally different than what my middle name is really spelled.
DM though, if you want to battle her on some.
Some people try to hit me up, but I haven't played the game today. And the crazy thing about me and my ADD is
you haven't played today?
No, I all day today. I was like, I gotta get on the game. But lately, I haven't been on the game. I played the Aces last night against the Sun on my game, and I got through the first quarter, and I paused it because I got a phone call or whatever, and I never went back to it. But now my new game is GTA. So I have been jacking cars, getting paid, and saving lives. I've been playing this action game of GTA, and it's just been taking over right now. But I got to get back on my WNBA thing. So
but that's Grand Theft Auto, right?
What's that?
Us non-gamers are trying to understand GTA. That's Grand Theft
Auto. Yes. Okay. This is Grand Theft Auto 5. So there is a storyline behind the whole thing. It starts with a robbery and it just goes all the way Ari. So it's crazy. It's a cool adventure game with a great storyline, great ad libs. It's kind of culturally like, you know, it is a little culturally kind of different because the characters that they have, they are a little stereotypical, if you will. Like the black dudes on there don't have to be like they off of D Street Jackson. They can be normal dudes. Like they don't have to have that stereotype. So it is a little jarring to. I'll talk about it on the next show, like on a game. But it's crazy. But I'm so into it. I don't know why. But
we'll talk about it. We got some good guests next week. That we got the Sports Life Talk people that we're going to have on next week. That we were on their podcast last week, which was super fun. We really enjoyed it. So we're excited to have more of a group discussion. We'll have more of a round table discussion on
right about other upcoming news in sports and anything else that we come across.
For sure. All right, you guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Till next week. We'll see ya. 2 fingers. Peace, 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 peace.